talk to us about that?
Again, I mean, I moved to a few different agencies because I was learning along the way, and I was very ambitious to get my head spinning in the appropriate way to then take on the market. I knew I wanted to work for myself, and even before I knew exactly how I was going to apply myself to the market, I knew I had a problem with authority. I knew I was very decisive about my own decision making. Sounds like an interesting statement, but you know, it was very, very key. So again, I didn't see any risk at all. The reality was I was 27 when Continuum started, and I figured, right, I'd be able to get another job, and yes, I could go back to the conservative type job role, and that's not taking away from those jobs because there's some excellent and brilliant people. It just wasn't for me.
I think that somebody quoted a statistic to me recently that the average age of startup entrepreneur is 40 years of age. And while I do believe and I understand that the reason why people they gain experience, they want to build up some capital, it's people that take the risk at that age that I have more respect for than people of our age who start with nothing, so we've nothing to lose. You're 40, you're probably married, you've probably kids, you've probably a mortgage, all the baggage that goes along with that stage of your life. To risk all of that at that point deserves a lot of respect.
You have to believe in yourself. I think there's no one.
Family believe in your wife, kids. You know,
there's no one at that table today didn't fundamentally believe that they could do what they wanted to do. The rest is application and environment and luck and hopefully talented people with you. But certainly you don't start it because it beats something else. You start it because you want to beat something else.
You spoke about humble beginnings, if I was to paraphrase, and realistic expectations for maybe people coming out of college looking to create a venture of their own. What's your key piece of advice on that topic?
Start early. Start in college if you can. I started my first company in college. It's the best time to do it. You don't need to go to every single one of your lectures. Don't believe the hype. You can start it there. You've absolutely no risk. You've got a testing ground with all your students and all your colleagues and everyone else. So start it after college, but start it in college if you can. And if it doesn't work out, try it again. You know, you've absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah, it's very true. You get a lot of peer involvement at that stage, and you don't have to worry about. I mean, particularly on the internet, there are so many applications out there. You know, the Facebooks, the Foursquares, and all these companies. It doesn't have to be an expensive startup. If you're selling online, use all the free resources that are there. They're tried and tested. They work well. The other thing we all spoke about today was everyone has peers that they respect, that they've learned something from. Embrace those people as mentors, and then when they've taught you something, then pass that on as well.
Another very simple thing is that I see this, and it's a problem with startup companies, that they start paying themselves big salaries straight away because of the CEO or the MD of the organisation. Absolutely not. You reinvest every penny you have back into the company. Get the minimum amount of money you can out of that company. Let the company build, and you look for the future payback. If you start taking the resources out of it now, you're choking the oxygen out of the company.
As I say, profits for vanity, cash flow for sanity.
Wise words. And maybe to finish on wise words, you all spoke about mentors and having a support network around you. What's the single most valuable piece of advice each of you have received so far?
What did I tell you?
Single. Would you not wear a tie? That one didn't really sink in. I would say certainly the piece of advice that I try and live my life by is to regret the mistakes that I've made and not be wondering about the ones that I haven't made yet. I think mistakes are really, truly important in business. Make as many as you can.
Brilliant.
I think for me it's, don't judge people by the mistakes that they make, but judge them very extremely on how they react to those mistakes. That's how you'll tell talented people, entrepreneurs. Businesses will fail, people will pick themselves up again, and they'll be twice as educated for it. And more dependable, because as I said about an expert in that, an expert is somebody who's made every mistake in a focused area. And they're the people you want to be working with, not people who haven't failed yet.
I think the one bit of advice that stuck with me was keep it simple. Keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate. Don't overanalyze. Yes, do analysis and research on that. But sometimes you can just analyze something to death and never do anything. Keep it simple, uncomplicated, and do it.
Also cap your legal fees.
Kevin, Colin and Dylan, thank you all very much for joining us at the Entrepreneurship Breakfast at Trinity Business Alumni.
Thanks.
Thank you.